One young man I'll call Damon wrote, "Growing up, I struggled with pornography. I always felt so ashamed that I could not get things right. Each time Damon slipped, the pain of regret became so intense. He harshly judged himself to be unworthy of any kind of grace, forgiveness, or additional chances from God. He said, I decided I just deserved to feel terrible all the time. I figured God probably hated me because I wasn't willing to work harder and get on top of this once and for all. I would go a week and sometimes even a month, but then I would relapse and think, I'll never be good enough, so what's the use of even trying?" At one such low moment, Damon said to his priesthood leader, "Maybe I should just stop coming to church. I'm sick of being a hypocrite." His leader responded, "You're not a hypocrite because you have a bad habit you are trying to break. You are a hypocrite if you hide it, lie about it, or try to convince yourself the church has the problem for maintaining such high standards. Being honest about your actions and taking steps to move forward is not being a hypocrite. It is being a disciple." This leader quoted Elder Richard G. Scott, who taught, "The Lord sees weakness differently than he does rebellion. When the Lord speaks of weaknesses, it is always with mercy." That perspective gave Damon hope. He realized God was not up there saying, "Damon blew it again." Instead, he was probably saying, "Look how far Damon has come." This young man finally stopped looking down in shame or looking sideways for excuses and rationalizations. He looked up for divine help, and he found it. Damon said, "The only time I had turned to God in the past was to ask for forgiveness, but now I also ask for grace, his enabling power. I had never done that before. These days I spend a lot less time hating myself for what I have done and a lot more time loving Jesus for what he has done." Considering how long Damon had struggled, it was unhelpful and unrealistic for parents and leaders assisting him to say, "Never again," too quickly, or to arbitrarily set some standard of abstinence to be considered worthy. Instead, they started with small, reachable goals. They got rid of the all or nothing expectations and focused on incremental growth, which allowed Damon to build on a series of successes instead of failures. He, like the enslaved people of Limhi, learned he could prosper by degrees.